I'm gonna go with the first option. Soft socialist paving the way for the working class to take over.
Preposterous! Surely you don't mean it. I'm just sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those commie hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking my piss in the mountains.
Wow, he hates commies.
I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frissel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
I didn't get any XP for that.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
How does Philippe III factor into this? Point towards the monument. Who is this Frissel? You mentioned Guillaume. How does Philippe III factor into this?
It doesn't. That was 100 years ago. It got nothing to do with anything.
I mean, legacy can last a long time, more than 100 years. Who is this Frissel?
Damn Frissel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
You mentioned Guillaume.
A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frissel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
Some manner of self-deceit is present in his thinking. Sounds like this Guillaume abandoned him, and he doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah, seems like he'd have difficulty coming to terms with it. Well, some people attach their identity to monarchy. What exactly is a suzerain?
Suzerain is a king! Has everyone forgotten already? They've forgotten already. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
Riding the cavalry straight into gunfire is a terrible idea. Like, the charge of the Light Brigade, all those people died. Okay, ooh, alright. Okay, so, let's see. Is there anything you can tell me about this rifle? Hold out the antique firearm.
It's a Bell McGrave, 4.46 caliber, breech loading, Revachol made. Good weapon, accurate and reliable.
His moves are quick and precise as he first checks the weapon, then aims it at the sea. This man knows firearms intimately.
This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her?
In the basement there, point to the bookshop. Sorry, I can't divulge that information. What do you mean, fine? This is my rifle, I always have it with me. Well, that's clearly not true because of the age of the rifle itself. As a police officer, you would normally say, sorry, I can't divulge that information. And I don't know whether that would make him respect me more. I feel like he might have something interesting to say about the basement by telling me it was there. So, let's say in the basement.
I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
Okay. So, Composure 5 has a low chance of passing it. What is it about this old soldier that makes him stand so proud? Well, it's a white check, so we'll come to it in a bit. I saw the statue of Philippe III near the roundabout.
Ah, yes! King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
Isn't that all rich people?
Cocaine. Cocainum. Sounds like our kind of king. And just imagine what kind of cocaine a king would have had.
Probably same as all the other cocaine.
A superpower. feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
How should a true king rule? So this is asking René. What was that about cocaine? This is asking about Gaston. Let's talk about something else. What was that about cocaine?
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts. His egocentricity is borderline legendary.
You can't even take responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler?
He asks, obviously annoyed.
That's why the Philippian kings use cocaine, for clarity of vision, to aid in their work. Regnum cocainum, Revachol's finest years.
He seems to grow taller, brimming with pride about the past. They actually called it Regnum cocainum?
I'm satisfied with this explanation.
Well, good for you, electrochemistry.
Of course. Clarity of vision. Awareness.
Yeah, people on cocaine definitely famous for that.
Philippe III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court made him administer the dose to his mother when she was in labor. And it is well known that with the help of cocaine, only the purest, of course, he was able to connect with higher realms.
Why is he sort of idolizing him this much over the use of cocaine?
He's just making excuses for the king's habits, isn't he?
Yeah. I drink alcohol and go to heaven. Such responsibility requires a boost every now and then. I sometimes need one too. Seems like irresponsible behavior for a monarch. Drug users shouldn't even operate heavy machinery, much less rule countries. Thanks for clearing that up. I have some other questions. Nothing to do with the king himself. Responsibility needs a boost every now and then. Sometimes I need one too. Technically, I have done this by taking some alcohol. But I would say, personally, it seems irresponsible for a monarch to do that.
From what I've seen of the officers of the RCM... But I don't want to get into a debate about drug policies.
Really? Okay. How should a true king rule?
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
Sounds more like a dictatorship. Seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself. Powerful leaders not afraid to do what must be done. This is what this country needs. I'm not sure how I feel about that. No, he should take care of his people. Whole point
is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
I got a trophy for the biggest communism builder. So I've passed, I guess it'll be 10 communism comments.
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
There is some weariness in his voice now. He's heard this rant many times before.
The carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve. No one and nothing can change this man's mind. He is as rigid as they come, still in that antique uniform. It's a symbol for him.
Some people just can't be told otherwise. Let's talk about something else.
Right.
Okay. Might as well try the white check, why not?
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old uniform. This is not uncommon.
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers in service of Frissel I, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Philip V before him.
Don't you mean Frissel the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
Yeah, so it's always better if they have ownership over the person that is an idiot.
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry.
Alright, last thing. René, I found your guard booth.
Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you.
Okay, why then?
I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
Okay. You must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
Hold on, why you want to leave?
It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
Oh, it could do.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, sick it. A real man's man is just gonna ride it out.
But the thing is that if he was put on a 2-week leave since last Monday, that might have been done on purpose so that the person they hired as René's replacement was going to just look the other way. So it could have something to do with the investigation. But the way that Gaston is talking about it, it seems like he knows what the reason is.
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee.
High blood pressure?
It's his heart.
So who is working your shift that night?
No one. The boss has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
So they didn't even need to get someone to look the other way. There was just no one there.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
How can it not be an issue?
Look, officers. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
Mostly decorative. So it doesn't matter if you're there or not. So basically, he doesn't do anything. He just gets paid to sit there. It doesn't matter if you're there or not.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
He's trying to argue.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting dirt reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Everard gets it. Big guys looking after the small and everyone working together. I love it. Such dependency only weakens a man further. Do or die. There's no middle ground. René is but one man. We need a program. Get all the elderly back in the job market. Keep folks motivated. René should rent out his services, invest the profit, get a few more guys, expand and repeat. Wage work is a dead end. Okay, so this is, he should be an enterprising capitalist, right? But think about how old he'll actually be. Does he really want to do that? This is, let's get the elderly all working for us. So it is important for, you know, people who are retired to have something to do, whether it's work or hobbies or something, but just kind of sitting around doing nothing does lead to sort of, I guess, mental degradation as well as physical. So, but this seems a bit too much in that direction to say, yeah, let's get all the old people to work for us. Dependency weakens man further, do or die, there's no middle ground. No, everyone needs some help at some point. And big guys looking after the small, everyone working together, I love it. That's just too enthusiastic about it, so... I don't really like any of these options. I don't think René would be all that interested in doing the capitalism thing. This, get all the elderly back in the job market. I can see the benefit of this. I'm going to say this one.
Look, officer, can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now?
He doesn't actually know how to reply. So, I saw a picture in there. You're in it. Who's the girl?
She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
That's fair enough.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Ah, see, we got a very chatty friend. Secret task complete, ask René about the photo. That's an XP. Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu. She sure as hell wasn't a nobody. I see. A long-lost love, maybe? Got it, thanks.
Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Ah! We got a composure check goes to low. I know René's job situation. Try it again.
Still, all you see is an old soldier refusing to replace his uniform with a civilian attire.
Fair enough.
Anything else I can assist you with, officer?
We need more
Still have
composure.
a game to finish.
Okay, thank you for your time. Hello?
Aces high. For the rest of the world, the aces high is just a cool Revachol thing, politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket, just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades, and those cargo pants could store tools for hotfixing your aerostatic. Maybe you should ask him about this.
And the bonus is +1 empathy towards Kim Kitsuragi and +1 esprit de corps, the roots of the RCM. So, just positive. Alright, accept. Alright, so I suppose if there's any questions for skill checks, the +1 empathy will help in some way, but let's see. So, yeah, my empathy is very low in the first place. I need any help I can get. Right. Let's do a full save, and then we'll talk to Gaston. Gaston, your sandwich is finished, right?
I have really outdone myself. This is divine.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat arse of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
Bit of projection, maybe?
René, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle.
That's an interesting onomatopoeic way of having someone eat. Nyum nyum.
Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
You mentioned Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu. Who is that?
Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of Revachol. Maybe the entire world.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
Oh, she's dead. Imperceptibly small tremble. You both know her.
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. The 3 of us have been best friends since we were 4.
Have been?
She was René's first girl back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy.
And then you stole her from me.
He jerks forward but then grabs his chest and stops. Easy fellows, no need for this to get ugly. Don't intervene. Sorry, but I really just wanted to ask some questions. There's no need for it to get ugly.
Oh, officer. It already got ugly nearly 80 years ago when the 3 of us were just learning to walk and talk.
I was going to say, I was trying to place how old they would be, so they have to be late 70s, if not older.
You stole her from me.
René repeats, trying to steady his breathing and still clutching his chest. I think there might be a hidden skill thing of if you pressure René too much, he might actually have a heart attack.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her pretty yellow dress.
We were just boys then. This was different. You...
Oh, veteran looks at you and nods.
No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time. Especially when we have company. Officer.
What happened to her?
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage. Peaceful.
He smiles faintly.
René and I were both by her bedside when she...
He pauses, searching for the right word.
Died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back. Will it now?
No, I guess not.
Departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met.
So, this is an 80-year-long love triangle? Come on, fellas, have a bit more self-respect for yourselves. Why do you think she was being indecisive?
She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, or which one of us to marry.
The look in his eyes is happy and distant.
She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married.
Nothing wrong with weighing your options first. That's a bit odd. Women, right? That is just odd. You went from one to the other and then back again?
Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
Wow.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries.
But why would she go back to René after going with Gaston is what I'm not getting.
He suddenly remembers you are still there, falls silent, and turns away.
Thanks for sharing.
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left.
Let's talk some more.
Sweet, sweet Jenny.
Okay, so that's if we get anything new. Alright.
Memories
Tell me, what do you know
are
about the
all-
dead man?
Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really.
Come on, you must have heard something.
No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist. You are both good guys. I can see that.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
He means caviar socialists.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
Cheeks turning red is a sign of trying to hide something.
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
Sounds a bit like you're holding back.
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard.
Alright, how do you know Evrard?
Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
Isn't that by definition history? Is things that have happened? I mean, it's always strange to think that having lived through 2020, that was a historical event that will be talked about in, hundreds of years maybe after, I'm dead. Living through the COVID-19 pandemic is, it's a historical event. But you don't realize it necessarily at the time. You're just worried about what's going to happen while it's going on.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. There he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Are you a union member?
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Evrard, Edgar, and the older debarders all know me.
Right, so I don't actually want to say you're not an actual member. That's a bit harsh. So, in many ways?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you're not an actual member.
Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the payroll, just for the little things.
What's a little thing?
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union, and now the illusion is disintegrating before your and René's eyes. He doesn't know anything, because no one tells him anything. He's an outsider.
He's just an old man that people like.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Weservein. Turns to where the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate this socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
What are little things you do for Evrard?
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say.
What kind of things do you write for him?
Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Evart and I have these long talks where...
He's not the one that wrote the magazine that we read before, is he? Okay. I can't check that now, so I'll just have to carry on with the conversation.
Well, he tells his little penman exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Are you a caviar socialist?
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer.
Wait, how can you write those newspaper pieces if you're not political?
Officer, I have a vivid imagination. And like I said, I have a way with words. That's enough. No need to sink into politics.
He just fluffs it up.
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any fight. Only sink into your couch.
So you are a weather vane? You need to believe in something, freedom, the people, Revachol, even money. That's smart, I keep my nose clean too. You do need to believe in something. Whatever it is, you need to believe in something.
I believe everyone has the right to think and do whatever they want. Even if it's nothing at all. I'm very adaptable.
Easy going.
Come on, you.
The carabiner closes his eyes like he's never going to open them again. Thanks, that's all for now.
No, thank you. For
Okay.
being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
I don't know about that, but... Anyway, looks delicious. Point to the sandwich. Can I have a bite?
I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not low on health or anything, so I don't need the food. But this is an example of exerting authority.
The only one you have.
Suddenly you realize how hungry you are. The last time you ate must have been God knows when.
To be fair, I don't know whether I actually do need to eat to make sure my health and endurance stays up.
Aeons ago. Probably when you were still a child. The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made and abundant in components. The author sure knew their craft. In addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato peeking from below. And is that mayonnaise?
Please, man, can I just have a bite? Don't be a dick, Gaston. There's plenty for everyone. Okay, I'm not that hungry anyway. So, pleading with someone to give them your food? I mean, I guess technically, well, no, I'm not a beggar, so I'm not gonna say this. And there's no need to go too hard in the other direction. So I'm not that hungry anyway.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. You must have other business then?
Rhetoric Legendary 14 convinced Gaston to relinquish his... Well, since it's a white check, let's give it a go.
A man so principled about his sandwich calls for a principled approach. Time to get political.
What is political?
This right here is political.
This city's going to shit. Sooner or later, some foreign anarchist is going to steal your sandwich, that's a fact. Your blood sandwich is a tool of the oppressors designed to keep the proletariat docile. These options seem awfully fascist or communist. What if I don't want to say them? Yeah, they kind of do.
Say one of these fascist or communist things or fuck off.
Wow. Thanks, Rhetoric.
Oh, easy there, Goldmouth. He doesn't have to say anything. Re-engage cop mode and bail out, if you like.
I think I will. Back to police mode. I have some questions.
All right. Let's hear them, officer.
Alright, bye for now.
Wow, so someone's been a little boring.
What?
Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
I like brown. I like standards. Look, I'm just trying to do my job, no need for extravagance. What is this? Picking on me for not being crazy enough? That's the least of my concerns. Kim, am I boring? Let's see what Kim says.
You? I wouldn't worry about that.
I was going to say, you know, an alcoholic, druggy cop can't really be that boring.
See? You're so regular and vinyl brown, he doesn't even want to talk to you about it.
Picking on me for not being crazy enough? That's the least of my concerns.
No need to be defensive. The regularity, the brownness, the cut and dry have their appeal. A very standard appeal.
I'm just trying to do my job, no need for extravagance.
Of course you do. Let's get right to it. My lord's copotype is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax.
So, the copotype last time I think was sorry cop. Boring cop, I guess, is another option. Yeah, so... Out of Superstar, Apocalypse, Sorry, and Boring, I imagine most people would want to be Superstar. So, what does the copotype actually do, though? Does it give me a bonus to my stats, or is it just a that's who you are personality test? Wait, this will be my copotype now?
Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits.
Why not? Send out the telefax then, I'm not ashamed, opt in.
Done and done. No actual communiques will be sent, of course. That would be too dramatic.
Thought gained regular law official.